guys, it's Ashley, your scrapping nerd. I have my last layout for Pineapple Paper's May I Scrap Lift You, and I am scrapping on the fly. She scrap lifted me, and so I wanted to scrap lift her. This is her, well, these are my photos, but this is her layout here on the iPad. And I just loved how it had so many different patterns. And so I'm using the Craft-A-Clock Ocean Deep paper. Those chipboard pieces were Stamperia that you saw earlier. And also I forgot to show the Craft-A-Clock Ocean Deep cut-aparts that I fussy cut and will be using the flowers from. So like I said, I love that her layout had different pattern paper and she ripped them, and so I thought I was going to use all of these, but that paper I actually ended up not using. I didn't like the colors with my photos, and since these are double-sided papers, I actually only needed to use the two here to get all the different pieces for the 4 strips there. And so I really like that seashell one on the right there, and I thought I was going to make that a main piece and maybe have less papers ripped, but I just used 2 of that one. And I really liked the whales and the stingray here, and so that's going to be my far right side. You'll see here I'll rip that one as one of my vertical papers, and I thought it would be fun to have those whales and stingrays showing. So I'm getting that ripped there, and then I couldn't decide which one would go next. I thought this matched too much, so I'm gonna rip another piece off this one and flip it around, and I decided to rip off the white part here, but you'll see I'm actually tucking it in under the one with the whales, so I didn't even need to bother with ripping the white part off, but you know, I didn't think of that when I was doing it. And so I liked this here because it kind of differentiated between those 2 colors. And then this side had those jellyfish, and I thought maybe the jellyfish on the left, but that was too much. And I didn't want to lose the ship either. So it looks like I'm ripping the jellyfish off for the page, but I'm not. I'm going to save that, and then the same with the ship here. I'll use that on another layout. And so I liked this, and then that way, like, the darker seashell paper just gave differentiation between the light kind of teal paper there. And I'm going to use this scrap piece of black paper to adhere this down so that it stays in the 12 by 12. So at first I thought I was going to do my photos like this with the vertical one a little bit higher, but then I actually do it exactly how Scrapping on the Fly did it, with the vertical and the horizontal at the same level at the bottom there. And so I wanted to add some vintage photo on all the edges that you see. So here I'm just inking them up. And I will do that to each piece on the edges that you see. And so now that those are all inked, then I'm going to get them adhered down. And I'm going to start with the far left because that's kind of the very back paper. And then I actually then did the far right without adhering it completely down, just to make sure that, because the 2 center pieces were a little bit skinnier, and so I didn't want any of that black paper to show. So I adhered the sides first just to make sure. And then I'm just folding up the edges so it kind of helps to distress. And you can see the top you can see a little bit of that black paper. So I'm just gonna trim that off and then just ink that edge there. And so when I was looking for photo mats, I found this kind of newsprint 4x6, and I really wanted to keep the lobster to use on another layout, and so I'm actually just gutting the lobster out for the photo mat, and I do that for both of them. So you can see here I'm just going to adhere that down, and I will trim the edges. I didn't want that big of a edge around the photo, but I needed the photo to sit in the center to cover up where I gutted out the lobster. So I got that adhered down, and then you can see I trimmed down the sides, and then I'm gonna ink those. And then I'm gonna get it laid back down on the layout. And so you can see I moved that vertical one down, and then this is where I didn't show you guys that I had fussy cut out these flowers from, it's the Craft a Clock Ocean Deep ephemera, but you cut it out yourself. And so it has the white edge that you cut around, and I thought it was too stark of an edge for it to be white, so I ink the edges of them, but I don't put the dauber back in the ink. I only ink the edges with whatever's on the sponge there, because I don't want it to be like really dark. I just wanted to knock the brightness of the white off, because the paper has more browns in it. And so you'll see I'm gonna lay out all these flowers. I'm gonna have some that are going to be popped up. Right here I'm putting this husband and wife label down. It's just from my stash, so I wanted to put that down in the corner because this is obviously a wedding layout. And then the bottom right corner flower there I popped up just to add some dimension, and there'll be a few around, because I'm going to put these flowers kind of all around the two photos like Scrapping on the Fly did. And so I'm going to pop some up on foam. There'll be some in the very back layer. There'll be some leaves that are kind of between the photo mat and the photo, just to kind of help give a little bit of dimension to it. So see there, I popped that up on foam. And then Enjoy This Journey is the title for it. And I thought, I understand it's probably more of like a travel title, but I think the beginning of a marriage is quite a journey right ahead of us. So I just thought it would be a good change to all of the titles that are in my wedding album. And I thought I was going to put that flower cluster up there by the title, but I actually will move that down towards the photos. I didn't like it up there. It was too, I think it's because the title card itself is brown, and so even though the flower is inked, it definitely still looks really white. And the whiteness of the photos from the sky helps to kind of blend in with the white from the flowers, so it didn't bother me so much down there. But I will add some leaves to the title up here, and that star fish that's on the title, and then I also put one down in the bottom right. That's from the Stamperia chipboard pack that I had in the beginning. And so I decided to only put the leaf on the one side of the title, but that's the layout. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone that's liked and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that button there. Make sure you guys go check out Scrapping on the Fly's channel and Instagram. She does amazing stuff, so go take a look. Her links will be below. Thank you, and everyone have a great day. Bye.